This topic is very dear to me in that that's probably the entire model of our business. Um, Rethinking how we design and build houses. So I've put them into three components: design, construction method, and delivery. Okay, so if we're doing affordable housing, I don't think people that are considering luxury houses are the people that we're looking at. One of the things that my job has allowed me to do is to travel across Nigeria. I've been to different states in southwest, northeast. I've been to walk around, and what I've realized is that the way we approach things in Lagos is different from the way they approach things in Aba or in some areas in Port Harcourt, in some areas in even Osun State or Ogun State. What they want there is they want a quiet life. They want a small house. They don't want a two-story building, 350 million naira housing as we want in Lagos. They just want a quiet life, and because of that, it makes us to think of, okay, if we're providing housing for this number of people, for this kind of people, then we would have to rethink the way we build those houses. I'm going to ask a simple question, which is, what is the Nigerian dream? And the reason why that is important is because if we can recognize what a Nigerian dream is, what Nigerians dream for, then we can be able to say, okay, this is the kind of houses we want to build for them. Because we need to recognize. All right, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so for me, Nigerian dream is about freedom and free market and innovation. Nigerian dream is about I prefer a country that is free, so that we could be able to innovate and have free market. So Nigerians should be able to afford. Nigerians should be affordable. Nigerians should be able to afford the good things of life with ease, and housing is part of the good things of life. It is a foundation of security and general well-being. Anywhere in the world, when you have a home, you feel relieved. There's an untold sense of security when you own your own house. Having a house is not about luxury or achievement. It's about survival and sustainability. Problem. Yeah, so we know that Nigerian income bracket is about 1.2 to 80 million naira. That's the middle class income bracket, which means that a house worth of 80 million naira or worth of 350 million naira is not going to cut it. And with this current construction method, houses are that expensive. About 60% of Nigeria lives in rented houses, spending 30% of their income to pay for rent every year, which means that it's not sustainable for anybody. It's not sustainable for Nigeria. Period. So as an industry, we can't service the largest population of the economy. We need to rethink how we build houses. Our construction method needs to be more affordable, and we need to have perception shifts as to what constitutes and what is the purpose of, and what's the purpose of having a house. Why do we need houses? Why do people need houses? So affordable. Yeah, so when we talk about affordable, I was saying we're not talking about substandard products. We're not talking about less quality. We're talking about alternatives. It doesn't mean substandard. It means alternatives. Something that can serve the same purpose, but not that expensive. Techno is a phone. Samsung is a phone. iPhone is a phone. But they have different products, and they are different alternatives with different price brackets. and that is what construction needs to be. We need to have different products within different price bracket. As a business, we need to take an overall look at the entire construction value chain, tear it into pieces, and find ways where we can provide alternative and find where we can provide alternative. So, so when we started, we wanted to, me and my guys, we wanted to be developers. And we realized then, that was 2020, 2021, we realized then that it was very expensive, for us to build because we didn't have all the money to build. So instead, what we decided to do was to find a way to make construction cheaper so that it would allow us to be able to build. Because, going around saying we want to look for investors to do the same thing, it will cost, it will take time, all those things. So we had to look for different alternatives. And that has been the shape of our business, because in every sector, in every construction value chain, we've been able to find a way to provide alternative, and we work daily in terms of providing those alternatives. So let's start with design. All right. So yeah. So as I was saying, people want simpler lives, and so we start with design. In terms of construction value chain, starting with design. This is a 3-bedroom, and this is also a 3-bedroom. This 3-bedroom would cost less to build than this because there's so many walls that had been eliminated in terms of building this, and this looks better for a family of 2, a family of 4 that are looking for something that they can afford, and it's still better. This is bigger. We actually built this two. We actually have these two, and we have their cost, but this is just better in terms of design. So what we have is when we look at construction value chain, we look at, okay, how do we break it down, and how do we make sure that we're able to get the best prices. So one of the things that we did was to look at designs. So we look at designs and we look at, okay, we need to reduce walls. So even if we're constructing a duplex, we build rectangular houses more because that reduces costs more than square houses. So so in design, the way we look at floor plan is to streamline the numbers of materials that will be needed to build a house. And to do that, we stream all unnecessary sections like anti-room. Design is often seen as an aesthetics exercise, but in an affordable housing, design is about sustainability and functionality. We must shift from designing for luxury to design for livability, scalability, and efficiency. So the other thing that we looked at is, okay, so if you're looking at this, you see a pool area. So, Nigerians have these weird ideas about pool areas. So we just figured that, okay, you could have a garden instead of a pool area. And one other thing that we did was to look at roof shapes, which also reduces cost of construction. To look at roof shapes as to hay shapes instead of these pitch roof. Flat roofs, people don't really like flat roofs. But people, at least based on our market, we see a lot of people that love pitch roofs. And okay, so later you see one of our projects that had a pitch roof and all those things. So what the ways we look at this, as construction is overhaul. For a home. And when we look at it overall, we look at every aspect of construction and how we could reduce cost of construction. And that's what we do basically. So from the roof, from the design, from the construction materials itself that we use, we try and reduce construction costs as much as possible. To bring affordability in construction, clever thinking and innovation is important. Understanding the purpose of each component and finding solutions to make it better without the hassle of slow and expensive build. Traditional method, brick and mortar, manual labor, sequential processing are slow. It takes about 77 steps, between 77 to 100 steps to actually build a house. So you go from setting out, blinding, blocks, filling, all those things. It takes about 77 to 100 steps. So what we've done is that we've reduced those steps to about 44 steps from us. So which makes our house to take about 8 weeks. If we're building a 4-bedroom duplex, we only need like about 8 weeks to complete a 4-bedroom duplex. To service a bigger Nigerian market, we need to shift to the method that reduces cost, time, and complexities. We need to build houses the same way Toyota build cars. It needs to be fast. It needs to be, because Nigeria has a housing deficit of 22 million. So, and for us to be able to meet 20, and we have a housing deficit of 22 million, which means 22 million people doesn't have a house. The other thing is that we have 50% of the Nigerian population, about 100 million people that are living in rented houses. So if you're putting them together, that's like 122 million out of 222, which means that if we actually want to address the issue of housing, it means we have to find a way to build these houses super fast. Like we need to be popping out houses, the same way iPhone pops out their phones. So, and then for us, we have, we're business people. I'm a businessman. So for us, we have a way of thinking about it. We look at Nigeria, and we look at what they like, what they are used to, and we use those things to design our products. And we have so many products that we've not launched because we're still trying to find a way to make sure that it looks like something Nigerians is going to like. We understand how Nigerian feels about new things and changes, so we model our construction design to look and feel like conventional construction method to appeal to the market. When you see our houses, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. It is concrete steel framing. All right, so, yeah. So it is concrete steel framing. This is it. So we have this specialized construction, iron steel framing, and slabs, concrete slabs that we use. So let me define concrete steel framing. So concrete steel framing is a 5 inches thick walls that is paneled. So we assemble them in panels. After assembling them in panels, we have our specialized decking system. It looks more like what Professor was saying the other time. We have about 4 different types of decking system. We have different roof methods that we do engage as need be. We have these are our flagship construction method. So it is a 600 by 600 meters panel walls, dry walls. So when we assemble them, we have specialized way of assembling them. When we assemble them, we then plaster them. So everything culminates to about 5 inches thick solid walls. They are very strong. They are, and it takes to build this. This is a one bedroom loft. To build this took us, from after foundation to this, took us about maybe 4 days, and with 2 men and me, because I always like to be on the side. So conventional, okay, yeah. We all know how important. Okay, yeah. So sorry. All right. So yeah. So I use this house as an example overall. So this was when it was done. This is one of the things that we have as our superpower is that we manufacture a lot of things, and we have people in-house that could manufacture even machines. Like the one Professor was talking about, I would really love to see the blueprint, because we have people on our teams that can actually manufacture many of these machines, especially construction machines, which makes construction startup for us to be very cheap, because we manufacture the machines that we use ourselves. So it makes building a house super fast and super cheap. Yeah. So this is the finish. Sorry, is there a way you can play this video? Can you play the video? so it's a one-bedroom loft. So we have, from us, we produce these windows ourselves. We just buy raw materials and just make them ourselves. We make our doors ourselves. We make most of the components that is used in a house. We produce them ourselves. That reduces construction costs. I mean, and this goes for most developers. For developers, one of the things that developers need to do is to make sure that they could produce some of the materials they use by themselves instead of outsourcing it, because that reduces construction costs by about 20% or something. So we make them ourselves. All right, so yeah, so in-house production strategy. So yeah, we produce windows, we produce doors ourselves. We have different types of doors that we produce and different type of ways of producing it. We actually produce terrazzo tiles. We don't use them yet because we're still trying to see how we can fine-tune it for Nigerian market. We produce slate roofs, still in development. We do prefabricated houses. Our prefabricated houses, one bedroom cost, okay, that house that I just showed you actually cost us to 4 million naira to build. So which is another thing that is very important about, is that our houses, we have a 4-bedroom duplex that costs about 30 million naira to build. So that house, sorry, let me go back. So it cost, the house costs us 4 million naira to build. We charge you if we're building it for you, but yeah, it costs us 4 million naira to build. And that goes for many of our houses. We have different decking alternatives. We have steel framing decking. We have ribs and slab. We have interlock blocks for frame structure. Yeah, this is the interlock blocks. So if you have all these skeletal buildings, we have interlock blocks that we could use, and this block takes 1,000 naira per square meters. Plus, so we have this specialized cement system that we designed to plaster it so that it would stay put. So we have the blocks, we have ribs and slab, we have so basically so we have this steel frame structure. This steel frame structure is actually used in that house that I showed you, and it takes about 3.5 tons of load. Now, the reason why that is important is because, see, the way we do decking right now, we do it so that the decking can carry itself and the decking can carry the people on it. Now, what we've realized is that we can actually eliminate the decking from carrying itself. We don't need that. We only need to carry the people on it. So instead of just keep doing the decking the conventional way, so we make them modular. So we have a concrete slabs, 600 by 600. Then we have these beams, these iron steel beams. They are trusses beams. Now, the thing about trusses is trusses are majorly used for building bridges. Now, if you get the right degrees and right dimensions, you could actually make them to be able to carry at least 5 tons of load. So what we've done over time is that we've been able to make these deckings, these ribs and slabs, to be able to carry the precise load that we need them to carry. So this one carries about 3.5 tons of load. So that's the slate roofing there. This is one of the houses we built last year in Elisha. It's a 5-bedroom duplex. It's a very big house. So why I'm showing you this is because to say that our design, the way we build our houses, could actually do, there's no limit to the kind of building we can use it to do. It's like the technology is really amazing. And okay. All right, so yeah, making real changes. We're not the only one trying to make changes in Africa. There are houses in Kenya that is built under $10,000. We have, our houses is probably cheaper than any house that is built in Kenya. And I think in Kenya they use waste materials. We don't use waste materials, but we've just been very good at, being able to perfect construction costs. All right. So for us, this works. We've built about maybe 50 houses in the last 3 years, 2022 to 2024, which means that Nigerian market loves us. They love what we do, and overall, the entire project that we've handled is about 1 billion naira from 2022 to 2024. It is a stable, scalable technology. And the startup is very, at least for us, because we make our machines. The startup is very cost effective for us, and so okay. So let me move to delivery. I think we've talked about So for delivery, if whether we have this type of houses or whatever, there's no way we can do delivery without finance. It doesn't, even though we have, different sources, one other thing that is still very important is that we need to find a way to finance these houses. People still don't have the money. Even if you're building a house for them for 30 million, some people still don't have the money, and they still have to finance it. And we approach banks almost every time. They give us different rates. The rates are not always very good for our customer. At least what we envision for our customers is to be able to have affordable housing. So when they give us rates, we're not always very comfortable with it. So so different methods that could be used instead: cooperative mortgages, rent to own, micro mortgages, government-backed down payment. The most important thing is that we do product that works, like it totally works. We've built it over and over and over. We have different houses. The house I showed you was built this year, and it was built for 4 million, and this is 2025. Last year, the house I was showing you that was on that side was built to Kakas and was built for 20 million naira. And that house is about 246 square meters. And that's a very big house, 5-bedroom. So the sitting room alone was about 30 by 60 feet or something like that. Like, it was massive. I think the client just felt, since you guys can build this cheaper, I just go north. So he went really all out for it. So we have a product that works, and that product could actually help and fix Nigeria, because we build houses in 8 weeks, which means that we can just keep popping out houses with manpowers, and and we can pop out these businesses as fast as possible, because we also have the people, the expertise of building the machines that these businesses need. So this could actually address the housing issue. Like, it is a profound technology that works, and it's a great privilege. We do this all the time. We want solutions that actually work, something that actually brings real changes, and I think this is one of it. And so I think I'm going to close. So we treat houses. We should treat housing like healthcare and transportation, an essential service that deserves systemic thinking. The goal is not just shelter, but about dignified living environment, one that supports growth, life, and opportunity. Affordable housing is not about steel, it's not about concrete. It's about our ability to define the kind of society we want to live in, so that we'll be able to define the kind of houses we want to build.